I got this duffel coat. It's an old school duffel coat. It was like way long. It's a small, but it fit like crazy. It was like, you know, this much longer. So anyway, I got it taken in. And for a long time, duffel coats weren't on my radar. But once I got closer to prep, I heard people talking about them. And I took a look. And I said, you know what? The duffel coat is official, right? And I had my eyes on this. It's all wool, and then you see like these little, you know, rope straps and this wooden toggle. And I said, you know what? This is right up my alley. You know, I wasn't looking at you before, but I need you now. And again, you know, all sorts of cool construction. You got this flap. I don't know what they call these flaps, but it goes across the neck, you know, keep you protected. Deep pockets. Again, utility. This coat is made to protect you from the elements.
The product, the process, the people. Ethos Decorum.
My name is Dave Money. I have a podcast called American Layers. American Layers is a celebration of classic clothes and all things Americana, right? So if you love clothes, outdoors, and just nostalgia, you're gonna like the show. You know, most of us like an Americana style. You might layer up, right? So it's American Layers. But at the same time, Americana has many faces, right? When we celebrate Americana, we might think of baseball cards and Cracker Jacks, but that's not the only side. You know, you may think of the boy next door. You know, maybe you think of the white boy next door. What about the black boy next door? That's another play on words, the black boy next door. So, you know, American Layers just means that there's a lot of sides to this thing we call Americana, but we all meet up, right? We're all tied together by one thread, a common interest. We still brothers and sisters, but there's many facets to it, and I just want to explore that on the show. Okay, so I brought some of my favorites out. You're gonna see a lot of my stuff is like iconic. I always say it's something you can see a cartoon character wearing, you know, from way back. No logos, 100% natural fabrics, stuff like that. As natural as we can get it. So I got this quilted bubble vest. It's tweed, and you can see the buttons are like oversized. They look kind of like wood. Just a cool find. Corduroy collar. The inside is nylon, and the construction is so cool. It's like it could be reversible, you know, but it's not. They say good clothes could be worn inside out if you chose to. Honestly, I was building a following on Instagram, and I said, hey, I don't want to leave this behind if Instagram dies. You know, I want a platform to still be visible to the people. You know, so I said I heard about podcasting, and I got the idea. I said, hey, I'll do some podcasting. You know, in the past I did some performing. You know, I made music, so I was comfortable with my voice, and I love telling stories. So that's how American Layers was born. So right here is a yellow waterproof anorak. This is a favorite because of the buttons. It's got these oversized buttons. Again, they look something like wood. And then the collar and the hood are really overbuilt, you know? So it's a cool look, but it's functional. You know, the collar comes up like high, and then it's got like a brim on the hood, and even a cotton strap with this metal buckle. And look at the detail on the sleeves. Not sleeves, on the pocket. So, one of my favorites. This is a vintage suede jacket with fireman toggles, fireman hooks. The inside is plaid. It's a real heavy jacket. Metal snaps. A strap on the back. Just classic. It comes to like the waist. Just a classic jacket. Here's another anorak. It's similar to the yellow one, but the construction is not as heavy, but you see a lot of the same elements, like the pocket has that kind of, I guess, triangular shape, again with the kind of buttons that seem like wood, but these buttons are a little smaller. You know, the oversized collar, you know, the real substantial hood. But this one has Velcro on the sleeves instead of buttons like the last one. And I think I really bought this because it is so similar to a few other jackets. I figured kind of like completing the set. Why I like Ralph, like this little embellishment is actually leather. You know, it's not a high-end jacket, but still the attention to detail, the intention, you know, the purpose is what makes it desirable for me.
How would you best describe your guests on American Layers?
Most of my guests are Ralph Lauren collectors, or, you know, people who are into like prep and traditional fashion. Fanatics, you know, I pinpoint fanatics, you know, it makes good conversation.
How would you best describe your personal style, and how does that affect American Layers, the brand, or the podcast?
I mean, you might as well call it prep. Sometimes I don't want to, because I feel like sometimes I'm so particular. I'm like, I don't live a prep life. I don't want to, you know. But it is influenced by prep. But it's all American. It's traditional, you know. That describes my style. Like I said, big on utility. So again, with the fireman theme, got another one. This one is from Rugby, or by Rugby, and they call this one a turnout coat, which is the actual name for a fireman's jacket. This is so dope because of the corduroy collar, nice oversized collar. You can wear it up, and it has a snap that goes across the front. Nice metallic hooks. I guess you would put like a flashlight or some sort of equipment in this pocket. And because it's Rugby, it's a nice fit, you know, a nice snug fit. But this is definitely a favorite.
How does your style affect the brand American Layers or the podcast? How does that reflect into the podcast?
It's the engine. Passion starts the conversation, right? I love what I do so much, I'm able to connect with people who do the same or something similar. You know what I mean? So that's the part it plays. It's the thread that starts that conversation, you know?
What are the brands that you would say are the true definitions of prep, or over a period of time have signified the true definition of preppy brand?
Definitely, you talking about brands like LL Bean, Ralph Lauren, Lands' End, some other stuff I'm probably forgetting, Bass, Woolrich, right?
What's your favorite brand and why?
Ralph Lauren is my favorite brand. Ralph Lauren Polo. It's because it was prevalent when I was a kid and I started buying clothes for myself and noticing and understanding fashion. That was the most popping, right? And since I've taken an interest in Ralph Lauren, they have consistently created clothes that I love. You know, not just like, you know, clothes that I love. And again, back to utility, they do things that spark the imagination, right? Like I'm big on having the right equipment, the right garment for the occasion. Well, Ralph caters to that. And if you follow his story, I think you'll see he's excited by that too. You know, when you look at him on his ranch, and he shows you an interior, and the whole thing is decked out. And then at the same time, you'll see an ad where they're at a mansion and they got old school luxury cars and they on a big estate and it's decked out that way, you know? So that's why I like Ralph, because like him, I have that imagination, you know?
How important is photography to American Layers? You use a lot of pictures to introduce your guest or your next guest or a topic.
Yeah.
How important is photography to American Layers?
It's very important. You know, I feel like it's an essential dimension, you know, to the show. I'm a photographer, and American Layers was, you know, kind of started from Instagram, right? So I felt like when I bring guests on, I want them to paint a picture. You know, I want them to paint a picture vocally. You know, and that's just like another version of the pictures we snap. You know, I think a lot of the guests imagine that they could be at the places that I snap my photos, right? So I want to feed that fire. You know, I think we all have imaginations. I think most people who are fashionable pair their fashion sense with some sort of idea or aspiration. So there's probably a soundtrack to it, probably a slideshow to it, you know. So I just wanna help, you know. Here's the slideshow.
What's your favorite piece that you've ever bought and you're like, yes, this is like the power piece?
Mm-hmm.
Or have you purchased that piece yet?
I have the perfect power piece on a regular level. Have to share this sweater with you because you know, sometimes when you're trying to be well dressed, you sleep on the obvious, right? And you're looking for the next power piece is right in front of you. Simple plaid sweater. This baby is wool, 100% wool. Suede elbow patch. It's just a cool classic design. You know, you layer this with the duffle. It's easier than you think sometimes. You know, you just gotta have the right pieces. You know, so anyway, I grabbed this up. It's like lint on here or something. Just definitely one of the favorites, man. Sometimes they creep up on me, right? You don't realize how magical the piece is because you're not wearing it yet. So it takes some imagination sometimes, you know? You see a photo and you like, oh, it's a plaid sweater. And you say, nah, let me get it. And you put it on and you say, you know, I almost passed this up, you know? I got a lot of respect for collecting, right? And you know, the word levels is cliche, but I do believe there are levels. I think I'm a real collector, but I haven't reached, I haven't been grabbing the exclusive pieces yet. Like pieces that I feel like are special. I think those pieces are kind of pricey, and I'm not trying to grab them because they're pricey, but it's they're kind of rare, you know, kind of like the color combination, the fabric combinations and stuff. But you know, to answer the question right now, I would say like my fireman jackets are kind of like those pieces for me. They are accessible, but that's what I love. You know, so that's what makes it that piece to me. You know, I'd say my favorite one is probably the red fireman jacket. Got this like 2 seasons ago. Definitely a favorite. I wish the fit was smaller, but it's love. I never want to part ways with it. I think I was saying the collar, you know, little black watch with this nice leather strap. Look at the rivets on that strap, and then look at the buckle. This is why I like Ralph. You know, people like it for different reasons. For me, it's not for the sake of the name. It's because Ralph continuously does stuff like this. So when I'm looking for this, I check him out first. You know, again, the buckles. Check this out. Even So it looks good, but it's really functional. You know, this thing is really waterproof, bonded. They call this bonded seams. So it's kind of like ironed on, you know, melted on there. So no waters. You look good and you're actually protected. You know, and then more black watch. You know, and then this leather little embellishment. So it's the details. That's why I love Ralph. You know, I think whatever you into, it's dope if you have some sort of purpose. You know, it's bigger than a horse. You know, it's because they constantly do the stuff I love.
What's next for American Layers?
I mean, next, it's about personal development, right? So the listeners, the followers are gonna get the same show, but I'm gonna improve myself as an interviewer and as a content creator, right? And over the long term, because I'm thinking 10, 15 years, I'm gonna just keep building a brand and just creating that content for you. My overall dream for the show is I want it to be used as a reference at some point, you know? At some point in the future, you know, if somebody's doing research on prep style, American style, or anything related, Americana, I want them to be able to listen to the interviews, you know, people telling their story and say, hey, I can use this. This is real content. This is substance. So that's my dream, man, to just to do quality stuff that's genuine, that's still valuable in the future, you know. I want it to be something you can knock off and place inside of your project, you know.